You are listening to 389 Country Internet Radio.
Hey y'all, it's Elise from Rusty Wallace Chevrolet. It's football time, and you know that's the best time to buy a car.
Whether it's a new truck, car, SUV, or certified pre-owned, we've got what you're looking for.
And all new vehicles come with our exclusive 7-year, 200,000-mile warranty.
Also, choose from Fords, Hondas, Toyotas, Nissans, Chevrolets, and more. Find new roads to RustyWallaceChevrolet.com.
Where Chevys cost less.
The views and opinions expressed on the Morning Buzz are not necessarily those of 389 Country advertisers, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, or Google Podcasts.
But they should be.
This is the Morning Buzz.
Good morning, Buzzers. Your buddy Trav on the radio. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Morning Buzz on a Tuesday. That's right, you made it through Monday. Congratulations on that, dear friends. And I hope your Monday was great, but I hope your Tuesday is even better. And I'm going to do my best to at least make sure it starts off that way. On today's show, you can expect chaotic news from around the world, including, well, backwards bagging. Just wait until you hear this one. Also, if it's good work, if you can get it, I've got a story about a job that's going to make you mad. Now, why is that? Well, you have to stay tuned. And what else have we got? Oh, yeah. Have you ever written a review for a product online? I've got some of the best ones coming up later on, so stick around for that. And, of course, the crazy news story of the day. All that and more on a 2 for Tuesday. You can get double shots from your favorite country music artist. But we can't do anything until we start your day. And for that, we need our old buddy Doug. Doug, I know you slept in, but it's time to do your job. Today is Tuesday. It is December the 5th, and it is National Krampusnacht Day. Krampus, basically. If you know, you know. It's also World Soil Day. You'll play in the dirt again. It's National Repeal Day. This one celebrated the repeal of, let me just click on this and tell you. On December the 5th, National Repeal Day commemorates the day Prohibition ended in the United States. So there you go, you alkies. It's World Trick Shot Day. And what else we got? International Volunteer Day for Economic and Social Development. Will you celebrate? On this day in history, in 1484, Innocent VIII, Pope Innocent VIII, condemned witchcraft this day in 1484 via papal bull, and subsequently he dispatched inquisitors to Germany to try witches and persecute a chief exponent of Renaissance Platonism, Giovanni Pico della Mirandola. Again, that was 1484. A little more recent time, South African nationalist and statesman Nelson Mandela, who helped end the country's apartheid system of racial segregation and ushered in a peaceful transition to majority rule, died at the age of 95. Do you remember his funeral? You know what I remember about his funeral? The person up there doing the sign language was just, it wasn't real sign language. That's what I remember. That's a look at this day in history. Now, how about we move along and check out your weather, brought to you by North Georgia Sign and Apparel, and could get a little interesting. I just got a message from a buzzer saying, I don't know about all the other days, but I'll celebrate the end of Prohibition. I hope he at least waits till after work. Anyway, on to weather. Right now, it is 27 degrees downtown Hayesville, upper 20s all across the tri-state. There may be a low 30 snuck in there somewhere, but I don't see it. For today, 52 for the high, low of 35. Slim to no chance of rain today under partly sunny skies. Tonight is when things could get interesting as we roll into your Wednesday. Chilly with a couple of showers of rain or snow. Little to no accumulation. It'll be happening tomorrow morning, probably. I like how it says between 8 a.m. and 7 p.m. So I don't think it's going to snow at 46 degrees tomorrow. That's the forecasted high, but who knows. 85% chance of precipitation. And taking a peek at Thursday, warmer, plenty of sunshine, high of 56. And that is your North Georgia sign and apparel weather. And with that, we have officially started your day. This hour brought to you by the fine folks at Interstate Welding. Welcome back, Buzzers. Your buddy Trav here. How about we ease into the music this morning? A little duet. Here's Sarah Evans with Vince Gill, No Place That Far. Thanks for listening to 389 Country. Sarah Evans, Vince Gill, No Place That Far. It's been a while since I've heard that one. That's a good tunage there. Time now for the 411 for the 389 news you can use. U.S. officials unsealed charges yesterday against a retired U.S. diplomat who has been accused of spying for Cuba for more than 4 decades in what is considered one of the longest-lasting infiltrations of the U.S. government. Bravo. Changing gears, Cyclone Michong made landfall early this morning along India's southern coast as a severe cyclonic storm with wind speeds of up to 62 miles per hour and gusts up to 70. At least 6 deaths have been reported due to heavy rainfall, and thousands of people have been ordered to evacuate. Officials in Chennai said the rainfall from Migjum is the most the city has encountered in 70 to 80 years, with some parts of the city recording nearly 10 inches of rain in 24 hours. Whew! And from the medical world, electrical stimulation of a key information relay in the injured brains of 5 patients improved their cognition by up to 52%, according to a new study released yesterday. The small feasibility trial was designed to prove the safety of the implanted electrode device and is a step toward broader clinical studies. And that's a look at the 411 for the 389. You can get you can get those stories in full and more over at 389country.com, including this local story. Yep. We have a local news story today. Monday, December the 4th, Clay County Commissioner Rob Peck announced that he had filed the proper paperwork and is officially running for re-election. Now the chairman of the board, the Republican, was first elected to the board in 2014. He served as vice chair on 2 separate occasions prior to being chosen as chairman in 2018. In his announcement, Peck said, "I'm hopeful to continue to work with my fellow board members in service to the people of Clay County." Now, we are officially done with the 411 for the 389. Back to the music now. How about our first double shot? Let's go with Darius. Here's Darius Rucker. Darius Rucker double shot on started to say Monday. Sorry, I was slipped a little. What do you say right now? I'll help you out, because as you are getting ready to head out to the job site, to the office, to the store, heck, maybe you're headed to school somewhere. At some point today, dear friends, you are going to find yourself in the presence of those that make it abundantly clear that they need to be educated on the things of this world. And when that moment happens, dear friends, I want you to look them dead in the eye and say, "Losers, I bet I'm smarter than you, and I can prove it." And then drop this on them. Did you know, after the premiere of 16 and Pregnant, teen pregnancy rates dropped? It's true. It's true. Now, MTV may not have had the most wholesome shows, but teen pregnancy dropped by 5.7% within 18 months of the show's premiere. While this sounds like a success story, the TV show has been criticized for glamorizing teenage pregnancy. Instead of focusing on genuine issues, they focus on the drama between the parents. I remember when that show first came out, and I thought, oh, this is good. Look, I can have a baby and get on TV. But how about that? It went down. I guess, bright spot. And then after you have left them wowed and they slack-jawed with your superior knowledge, I want you to hit them with your 1-2 punch. Look at them again and say, "Not only am I smarter than you losers, but I am funnier too." And drop this nugget on them. A police officer pulls over this guy who's been weaving in and out of the lanes. He goes up to the guy's window and says, "Sir, I need you to blow into this breathalyzer tube." The man says, "Sorry, officer, I can't do that. I'm asthmatic. If I do that, I'll have a really bad asthma attack." "Okay, fine. I need you to come down to the station and give a blood sample." "Can't do that either. I'm hemophiliac. If I do that, I'll bleed to death." "Well, then we need a urine sample." "I'm sorry, officer, I can't do that either. I'm also a diabetic. If I do that, I'll get really low blood sugar." All right, then, I need you to come out here and walk this white line. I can't do that, officer. Why not? Well, because I'm drunk. Merry Christmas. Welcome back, buzzers. Let's take a look at sports, shall we? And we begin with college basketball. Western Carolina college basketball, to be exact, where Western Carolina senior guard Vontarius Woolbright was named the Southern Conference Men's Basketball Player of the Week yesterday for games played November 27th through December the 3rd. Woolbright averaged a double-double last week, posting a league-best 28.5 points per game. Averaged points per game average. I don't know. That's poorly written. Anyway, and pulled down an average of 15 rebounds per game. So congratulations to Woolbright for that. A little closer to home, Hayesville will be in action tonight. The Yellow Jackets will load up and hit the road and head to Summit Charter. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Summit Charter, so was I. They are located in Cashiers, and right now they are 0-2, the boys team anyway. So hopefully Hayesville can keep things rolling. Your Yellow Jackets, the boys, are 3-0 and just came off a dominating win over Nantahala. And Nantahala got the win over Summit Charter when those two teams played. So looking good for the Yellow Jackets. I expect more of the same for the Lady Yellow Jackets. So there you go. If you're looking for something to do tonight, hit the road and head to Cashiers. And that is a look at sports brought to you by, as always, our good friends over at the Clay County Recreation Center. Go down and see them. Jerry and the staff, they've got that place rocking and rolling.
Looking for a way to become more active? Check out the Clay County Recreation Center. From walking and biking trails to a workout room to a state-of-the-art pickleball court, the rec center has something for all levels of physical activity. They even have an airfield for RC pilots. And don't forget about all the sports leagues for the kids. Visit the center at 333 Ballpark Drive in Hayesville or call 828-389-0368.
Maddie and Tay with Fly there on the morning buzz. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Uh-oh. There we go. We had to get it right because it's time now for the Bozo News of the day. Today we head to Washington. Pullman, Washington, to be exact, where Bozo, identified only as a 20-year-old Washington State University student, was booked on suspicion of underage drinking. A college kid drinking? Never. When he was released, he noticed a lovely Christmas tree with wrapped presents underneath it in the lobby of the police station. It was too much temptation for our Bozo to resist. Security footage shows him picking up an armload of presents as he headed for the door. He's Wet Bandits? Anyway, he was headed for the door, but it didn't take him long to realize that what he had picked up were simply empty boxes just wrapped to make a nice holiday display. Footage also shows him tossing the boxes back toward the police station in frustration. Cops say since he stole nothing of value, no further charges will be filed. I guess he could consider that a Christmas gift from your friendly local police department. What an idiot. Here's Brett Eldridge.
Double shot there from Brett Eldridge. Well, here's today's survey. Flyers are even more rude during the holidays, apparently. From oblivious parents to loud phone talkers, rude airline travelers are a year-round occurrence. In a survey of people who traveled over the Thanksgiving holiday, 24% said that people are even more rude during the holidays. Some of the worst offenders? Well, we have a lady telling her kid to stop kicking the seat in front of them because the mean lady wants them to stop. Not because the kid should stop, just because the lady is mean. A man clipping his toenails while sitting on the floor at the gate. Y'all, some dude picking scabs off his bald head. Was not me. And how about the guy with a wad of chew spitting into a cup throughout the flight? Now, if you're from around here, you're like, what's the big deal? I don't see no big. What they want him to do, spit on the ground? Sounds like a class act to me. I kid. I guess you could say they will never be accused of being angels flying too close to the ground. Time now to take a look at this day in country music. Let's see. In 1969, Johnny Cash appeared at Madison Square Garden in New York City. The concert was recorded and released as an album in 2002, making it his 86th overall album release. Holy cow, 86. Goodness gracious. 1978, the Charlie Daniels Band recorded The Devil Went Down to Georgia at Nashville's Woodland Sound Studios. The track was later released on their 1979 album Million Mile Reflection. Let's see, what else have we got here? In 2000, the soundtrack to Oh Brother Where Art Thou was released, which went on to win a Grammy Award for Album of the Year in 2002. And in 2010, a gala held in Washington, D.C. honored Merle Haggard with musical performances by Chris Christopherson, Willie Nelson, Sheryl Crow, Vince Gill, Jamie Johnson, Kid Rock, Miranda Lambert, and Brad Paisley. But what do we land on today? Well, we land on a birthday boy. I mixed boy and born. You see that? Boing. Born on this day in La Morada, California, was Gary Allen. So happy birthday, Mr. Gary Allen. We celebrate with your song. Here's her man. Thanks for listening to the Morning Buzz. Tim McGraw, felt good on my lips. That's the way we end our numero uno. But don't you fret, dear friends. We still have 2 hours to go. Coming up in hour number 2, we're going to take a look at political chaos, including someone else getting into politics. I'll give you a hint. They're not afraid to fight it out. That's a big hint. I'll be back in 3 minutes. Thanks so much for listening to the Morning Buzz. Whoa there. Whoa. For whatever reason, Brett jumped into this hour, too. Good morning, Buzzers. Your buddy Trav on the radio. Thanks for tuning in to the Morning Buzz on a Tuesday. I really do appreciate it. I really, really do. Coming up in this hour, political chaos from around the world, including a new contender in the world of politics. I'll tell you all about that in a couple of minutes. But first, as we do every day in hour 2, we start this hour by connecting with Jesus, because you know we need Jesus before we talk politics. Today's 389 Country Gospel Spotlight comes to us from Marty Stewart and his fabulous superlatives. Welcome back, Buzzers. Well, it's that time that we dive into the wide world of politics. And I told you, there's a new man in town. There's a new sheriff in town in the world of politics. Now, to be fair, it's not here. But last week we talked about the mess in Ireland, right? And how they are shutting down free speech and how an immigrant stabbed kids to death. And instead of worrying about that, the Irish government's worried about people who are speaking out against that. Well, looks like Conor McGregor is seriously considering running for president of Ireland. Y'all, this is legit. Conor McGregor recently spoke out on behalf of the native Irish population after riots broke out recently in response to violence from migrants. Speaking freely caused him to be investigated for hate crimes by the Irish government because, of course, while the people of Ireland have rallied behind him for giving them a voice. Now, after speculation, looks like McGregor seems to be interested in running for the Irish president. He posted this on X. Potential competition if I run. Jerry, 78, Bertie, 75, Enda, 74, each with unbreakable ties to their individual parties' politics, regardless of what the public outside of their parties feel. These parties govern themselves versus govern the people. Or me, 35, young, active, passionate, fresh skin in the game. I listen, I support, I adapt. I have no affiliation, bias, favoritism toward any party. They would genuinely be held to account regarding the current sway of public feeling. I'd even put it all to a vote. There'd be votes every week to make sure. I can fund. It would not be me in power as president, people of Ireland. It would be me and you. That's very Trump-esque, isn't it? Ireland may just have found their strongman who cares about the people of Ireland more than virtual signaling, or all the isms and phobias and all that. So he posted this. He put a survey up. Who gets your vote for president as it stands today? McGregor, Bertie, Jerry, Enda. McGregor won that 88.2%. Now, you got to figure all these supporters of these other people probably not following or voting for McGregor. That's a friendly audience. So, we'll see what happens. Crazier thing. Listen, to me, this just shows that people around the world are sick and tired of the status quo. We've got Trump, we had Trump, and we looking like maybe get Trump again unless they eliminate him one way or another. We talked about the Argentinian new president who's very Trump-esque. Is it Norway? Somebody in Europe, they had just elected a Trump-esque president. Now you've got Conor McGregor. Could you imagine if he was the president of Ireland? I tell you what, if Joe is reelected and Conor is elected to Ireland, I'm going to weigh my options. I'll just say that. President Conor McGregor. What do you think? You think he has a chance? Let me know, 389country@gmail.com. In the meantime, here's a little Conway for you, because you can always feel better with Conway. How about a double shot from old Conway? Don't take it away, please. Oh, Conway. Oh, the best hair in the history of country music. If you disagree, well, you're wrong. Back to the chaos now. Liz Cheney. Yep, that Liz Cheney. She, here's what she said about the election. It presents a threat if the Republicans are in the majority in 2025. Also, according to her, we're sleepwalking into a dictatorship if we elect Trump again. She wrote this big letter, right? I'm not going to read it all to you. We don't have time. But she says we're facing a situation with respect to the 2024 election where it's an existential. There you go, Joe. Well, it's a crisis is what it is, and we have to ensure that we don't have a situation where an election that might be thrown into the House of Representatives is overseen by a Republican majority. So, basically, here's what she's saying, all right? She says that if we don't need a Republican majority in Congress if Trump is also elected president, because she seems to think that the Republicans would make sure that he never has to leave office. Keep in mind, she presents herself as a Republican. So Democrats and maybe some independents look at this and say, my gosh, look, the Republicans are so crazy and Trump's so crazy. Even this conservative here is saying they're crazy. Instead, what they should say is, look at Liz Cheney present herself as a conservative when she's clearly not. She's just after a job on CNN or MSNBC as being one of their quote-unquote conservatives that weigh in on things, like Joe Scarborough. He's their Republican representative for the Morning Joe. Sure. How in the world can she even... One, how can she think that people are buying this? Two, if you are buying this, how? Like, how dumb do you have to be to look at this and say, well, Liz Cheney's the true Republican? Now, I will say this. We talked about this last week. The term Republican is a blanket that's thrown over people who lean to the right of things. But to me, there's a difference between a Republican and a conservative. And we're seeing the same thing on the left. You've got Democrats, and then you've got liberal, right? That's just... they've moved so far left that the traditional Democrat is starting to look like they're right-wing extremist, right? So yeah, if you form your political opinion based on Liz Cheney's thoughts, then I would like to have a one-on-one conversation with you, not to argue, but to what is it they call it, to deprogram you. Yep. Here's the original version of the song, you know. Here's Old Crow Medicine Show with Wagon Wheel. Old Crow Medicine Show there. Well, let's move on to more political news. And for this story, we go to 389 Country. Had a conversation yesterday with a listener, and they said, hey, I want to ask you something. Now, you took Tyler Childers off, understandably. I get it. However, you still play Brothers Osborne, and I said, that's correct. I've thought about the same thing. So, in our conversation, I said, if I'm listening to classic rock and Elton John comes on, I don't like change the station, right? So, here's where we are, dear friends. I can't pretend like I don't love Tyler Childers' music, right? And I'm also, it's not like he's out leading the charge for the LGBT trans Q plus pi R squared movement. So, I think we have reversed course. Now, some of you are going to say, oh, you're giving in. You're giving in. That's the way all of you do. You give in. it's not necessarily that as much as it's anytime you deal with somebody in entertainment, more than likely there's some connection to something that you don't approve of. And just because we play Tyler Childers doesn't mean we're promoting a certain sort of lifestyle, right? I mean, we play a lot of songs about people getting drunk in their trucks going down the road. I do not, I don't condone drunk driving. So let's just focus on the songs and the music, okay? Now, if Tyler has a song come out promoting that, we won't be playing that song. I can tell you that. But I do think that we can still appreciate his music. So I would love to know what you think. Even if you disagree, please let me know. 389country@gmail.com. Welcome back, buzzers. Well, you remember how last time the leaders of the climate cult got together, they talked about no longer is it global warming, it's global boiling. We've gotten to the point where it's just so hot. We are at the boiling point. Y'all remember that? Well, this is how bad global boiling is getting. Travel chaos worldwide as heavy snow blankets European cities to Hawaiian peaks. Yep. From the story, travel was halted across Europe Saturday as heavy snow blanketed cities and freezing temperatures set. Let me try this again. Travel was halted across Europe Saturday as heavy snow blanketed cities and freezing temperatures set in following a week of deadly early-season storms. Flights were grounded in Munich and Dublin Saturday after a winter storm dumped snow across southern Germany and parts of Austria, Switzerland, and the Czech Republic, disrupting travel across the continent. Hundreds of flights in and out of Munich were canceled and not expected to resume until Sunday morning. Now, see, global warming is actually so hot, it's making it cold in Europe. Like, that's how hot it is. It's going all the way around, y'all. All right, I'll stop here and address you climate wackos who might have, tuned in, and you'll say, it's climate change, not global warming. And that more snow is evidence that the weather is getting a little testy, right? Now, the problem is annual deaths from weather catastrophes are at historic lows, a fraction of what they were a century ago, and no one's talking anymore about a new ice age. Instead, the UN itself is saying it must fight global boiling, okay? Now, when I was real little, we were told that a new ice age was coming. Then acid rain was going to kill us. Then there was a hole in the ozone layer that was going to kill us. That somehow just fixed itself. So, just cool it with actually. Anyway, the icing on the cake is that last week the global warming specialists, including many from Germany. Y'all know Germany. They all flew in their private carbon dioxide spewing jets down to Dubai. So let's hope their jets made it off the icy runway safely. Y'all, again, if they truly believed it, they would change the way they live. They don't. They want you to change the way you live. And when questioned about it, they say, oh, well, I bought carbon credits. Oh, okay, so you can do it as long as you can afford it. Gotcha. Yeah, but there's no elite class and then us peasants. No. How about we get back in the Christmas mood with one of my favorite Christmas songs. Here's Montgomery Gentry. Merry Christmas from the family. Merry Christmas from the family, Montgomery Gentry. Well, from one family to another, it's time for a Donnie T update. Now, we live in a world where deep fakes are rampant. AI has made it to where you can't tell what's real and what's not anymore. So it's good to be suspicious when the Biden campaign drops a video of Donald Trump saying, we've been waging an all-out war on American democracy. By the way, this Biden campaign, Biden-Harris HQ, their profile pic or avatar, whatever you want to call it, is Joe with glowing red eyes. Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't look evil at all. Anyway, they released that, and believe it or not, Snopes jumped in and fact-checked him and found the claim false, that Donald Trump never said such. The claim, during a December 2nd, 2023 campaign speech, former President Donald Trump said, we've been waging an all-out war on American democracy. Snopes labeled it as false, saying neither the audio recording nor the context of Trump's remarks support the claim that he said we've been waging an all-out war on democracy. So did the Biden campaign throw up a deep fake? Well, not exactly. If you listen to the video without reading the Biden campaign's caption, you'll note that on the word on doesn't quite have an O sound. C-SPAN transcripts say that the speech he has given reads like this: we've been waging an all-out war in American democracy. In. So that prepositional difference changes the meaning of the sentence quite a bit, Rather than attacking democracy, Trump claims to be defending it. So while it's not a deep fake, it's still, a disingenuous release from the Biden team. A political campaign that's not being actually 100% honest? I am shocked. I, for one, am shocked and appalled. Who would have ever thought that would be the case, that a political opponent...
The Motivation Minute is courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Today's quote was submitted by Robin. Oscar Wilde said, "You don't love someone for their looks or their clothes or their fancy car, but because they sing a song only you can hear." I love this. I probably wouldn't have gotten this quote in my younger Wilde days, but now that I'm married for over 2 decades, I can tell you what, Oscar Wilde is right. My wife is weird. That's okay. I'm also weird. And so are you. We're all just a bunch of weirdos wandering the earth looking for another weirdo who is our kind of weird. Now for us, it's our weird sense of humor. There are things that we both find humorous where others would probably cringe, but that's the best. We get one another. We like the same odd, weird things. This has been today's Motivation Minute, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. They're known for insurance quotes. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Double shot from Shenandoah there. On the first one, Luke Combs helped them out. Shenandoah, another good band, blast from the past. Good to see them back in the news there with Luke. Now, I've got too many soundboards. I don't know where I'm supposed to turn down now. If we were talking about the climate cult, if you were really concerned about sustainability and your impact on the environment, you could always, just kind of spitball in here, but maybe not build a 6,000 square foot vacation home, right? I mean, what am I thinking? That would entail actual sacrifice, as opposed to the performative kind of sacrifice that it takes to build a virtue-signaling beachfront home you can then parade in front of, for people on the pages of the New York Times. What am I talking about? Well, from the New York Times, from the story, when Michael and Jennifer Montero bought a house on Cape Cod, they wanted more than just a vacation home near the beach in Massachusetts. They were determined to own something that reflected cutting-edge sustainability. Yeah, okay, but mostly they wanted a vacation home near the beach in Massachusetts, right? The resulting 6,000 square foot structure isn't small. No, small is not the word I would use. In fact, I'm not sure if I added together the square footage of every house I've ever lived in as an adult that I'd get to 6,000 square feet, which incidentally is over 2.5 times larger than the average American home and over 3 times larger than the median home in the state of Massachusetts where the house was built. And this is their second home. But it does have a small carbon footprint. That's from the story. Now, how can that be? Welcome to the wonderful world of greenwashing, in which the wealthy, can write a check and in return are provided dispensation from the rules the rest of us are expected to live by. From the story, using the beam estimator from Builders for Climate Action, Mr. Titterton determined that the house produces less than half of the carbon dioxide emissions of a conventionally built structure. That's less than half the carbon footprint of a conventionally built 6,000 square foot oceanfront vacation home. Now, see how that works? Now, they're not to be condemned for more than doubling their carbon footprint by building a second house. They are to be lauded, for reducing the carbon footprint of their second house to something that is still more than single modest house most American homeowners can afford. So, it's only producing the carbon effect of a 3,000 square foot home. Oh, and it's their second home, so they have that carbon footprint of the first. But look, they have the money and they made it better than what we could have, so we should applaud them. Are you starting to see how out of touch everyone is? They're in this little bubble. Like, we can't even think about a 6,000 square foot home. This is this couple's second home, and we're supposed to just fall all over them because it's only produced as much carbon footprint as a 3,000 square foot second home would. Well, boy, I'm happy for them. I don't know about y'all, but I'm just tickled. I might get up and dance. Brooks and Dunn, little country girl. Hey, I got some good news. You know, things are in the tank, but I've got a job for you. Your salary will take a big jump to a whopping $174,000 a year. You'll also get highly subsidized health benefits, paid vacation time, and personal leave are part of the deal. When you travel for work, your flights, hotels, and meals will be free. So, too, will your membership to exclusive gym and dining room. And if you ever retire, your pension and death benefits will be tops. Best of all, you only have to work 74 days a year. The catch? Well, you'll need to be elected to the United States Senate. That's right. Once you're a senator, that's the gig. Now you see why people are willing to sell their souls for that. Not I. I'll be back in 3 minutes. Thanks for listening. Welcome back, Buzzers. Your buddy Trav on the radio. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Morning Buzz, Hour 3 here on a 2 for Tuesday. Looking outside the old studio, looking a little overcast. If you missed weather, it may get a little interesting in the morning. The old snow word was mentioned. You can always get the weather at 389country.com. Click the little weather tab. Weather provided by North Georgia Sign and Apparel. Welcome to hour number 3, when we take a look at chaotic news from around the world, including crazy news story of the day. And I'm going to tell you the word of the year. And I'll go ahead and give you a hint. I've never heard it. I've never used it. So if you're my age, it's probably new to you. But we begin this hour with our 90s at 9, as it is now a little after 9:04. And when I think 90s music, this song jumps right up there for the soundtrack to the decade. It's Toby Keith. Can you guess it? Should have been a cowboy. Maybe I should have. Yeehaw! Thanks for listening to the Morning Buzz. Toby Keith, our 90s at 9 with Should Have Been a Cowboy. I probably would have failed at that, just to be honest with you. You know, sometimes it's good to be self-aware. Just like this, I am self-aware that I have no idea what this word is, what it means, where it came from. I'm so out of the loop, I didn't even know that Oxford was trying to run with the cool kids now. Oxford University Press has declared Riz as the 2023 word of the year. Here's what it means. The viral term was crowned 2023's word of the year by the Oxford University Press, which it lists as a colloquial noun defined as style, charm, or attractiveness, the ability to attract a romantic or sexual partner. It is believed to stem from the word charisma. So they don't even know where this came from. OUP's decision comes after a year of Riz-related memes helped make it one of the most buzzy slang terms, particularly among Gen Zers. I guess that's why I'm not sure why the second oldest college in the world is out here, promoting TikTok slang, but we're here now, so let me see if I can help you here. Yeah, that's Riz. It's being so low-key cool that you have a gravitational pull. You're a natural alpha dog. Yeah. Apparently guys use the term to prove that they can attract girls with just their looks, but they also note there's a fine line between unspoken Riz and being a creeper, okay? On TikTok, the word Riz has more than 36 billion views. It's also frequently used in phrases like Riz God or Riz King to describe a person who is exceedingly charming or persuasive. All right, here are a few words that Riz beat out. Riz beat words like Swiftie, which, enthusiastic fan of singer Taylor Swift, also known as, a worshiper. Beige flag, defined as a trait that is not distinctly good or bad. And de-influencing, defined as the practice of discouraging people from buying particular products. Look, I'm actually glad Riz beat Swiftie. I guess you're just too yesterday, Taylor. Riz, I don't even know what to say. Have you ever heard it or used it or anything like that? If you have, Let me know, 389country@gmail.com, or send us a message on Facebook Messenger. Carrie Underwood with Away in a Manger. Well, have you ever written a product review, a customer review? I don't think I ever have. If I have, maybe one a long, long time ago, but I'm not real sure that I have. No, I'm not copping out. I seriously can't remember. Well, here are some good ones that come across on Amazon. So they have this thing that looks like a cross between a banana and an apple slicer, and it's a banana slicer. Ian Crump left this review. Gone are the days of biting off slice-sized chunks of banana and spitting them onto a serving tray. Next on my wish list, a kitchen tool for dividing frozen water into cube-sized chunks. Then you have this one. This product is Bic Crystal for Her Ball Pen by Bic. So ink pens for the woman. E. Bradley left this. I don't use it for vulgar endeavors like math or filling out a voter application, but Bic Crystal for Her is a lovely little writing utensil all the same. Ask your husband for some extra pocket money so you can buy one today. Sarcasm. Then you have the Wheelmate laptop steering wheel desk. Yep, this thing clips onto your steering wheel so you have a table for your laptop. Min Byung Chang left this. I love emailing the highway patrol while I drive to let them know the tag numbers of cell phone using drivers. A gallon of milk. E. Bonham left, or Bonham, I don't know how. Says they really need to put a warning label on this thing. Apparently, if you put it into your body, it turns into urine. Urine! And then the horse head mask has a few. Selig 7 says it's not big enough to completely cover a horse's head, and it doesn't provide enough airflow for them either. And then Byronic Hero says it's day 87, and the horses have accepted me as one of their own. Have grown to understand and respect their gentle ways. White face paint. Here's the review left. You should definitely buy this product. Just make sure to apply near soft furniture and not near any household pets. I subtracted 1 star in memory of Mr. Snuffles. What? Then you have this one. No matter how much I applied or no matter where I applied it, I just wasn't as happy as the gentleman on the box. So when you read those Amazon reviews, keep in mind some of them are not real. That's why now they have the verified thing. It's day 87, and the horses have now accepted me as one of their own. Here's Ashley Cook. Double shot from Ashley Cook there. Your place was that one. The first one was Never Till Now. Well, check this out. A truck in China overturned, spilling its load on the road. Within minutes, more than 20 people were seen scrambling to snag the spilled product. What was it? Well, the truck was carrying about 1,000 pounds of peaches. Now, listen, I can't really blame them for trying to snatch them up, but that's still thieving. And thieving, my friend, is wrong. But now I'm craving peaches. It's time now for the crazy news story of the day. And this one's almost too crazy. I mean, it's not up there with the craziest, but nothing about this one makes sense. A 21-year-old, that's all I needed to know. 21-year-old woman reportedly swallowed her entire toothbrush. What? You're saying to yourself, what? Well, it gets crazier. She swallowed her entire toothbrush after using it to dislodge a piece of food caught in her throat. Hosea, a woman from Spain whose full identity was withheld by foreign media, claims she'd been eating turkey on November the 29th when she began to choke on the dish. Gasping for breath, her first move was to grab her toothbrush and try to force the turkey out of her throat, but she went too far and gulped down the 8-inch toothbrush. She explained that she had to act quickly as no one else was around to help. Does she not know about using a doorknob? My dad couldn't help me because he's stuck in a wheelchair with a damaged Achilles tendon, so I decided to help myself by using a toothbrush, she said, because it was only getting worse. I grabbed the first thing I could get a hold of, which was the toothbrush, and tried to dislodge it. Well, thank the good Lord the cat wasn't around. At the moment the turkey became loose, so did her toothbrush. I tried to hold it by the bristles, but once the obstruction was cleared, it just got sucked in. She was then rushed to the hospital, though remarkably, as she had felt no pain during the shocking ordeal. She recalled explaining her bizarre predicament to hospital staff upon admittance. They all started rushing around and couldn't believe it until they saw the x-rays, and it really was there. Following 3 hours of examination and diagnosis, surgeons were able to remove the dental device during a 40-minute procedure when she was under sedation. Why did it take 3 hours of examination? I swallowed a toothbrush. Oh, did you really? Yes, I did. Let's take you to x-ray. Let's develop that. Throw it up under the light. Yep, there's the toothbrush. We're going to let you stay in there for another 2.5 hours. We need to evaluate. She said, I woke up with the toothbrush next to me on the bedside table. I was just glad I could breathe again. And that, dear friend, is the crazy news story of the day. I don't understand any of that story, just to be honest with you. I mean, I understand getting choked, but they say if you can breathe, she was gasping for air, so was she breathing? And there's ways to do the Heimlich on yourself without cramming a toothbrush down your throat. I mean, she couldn't find tongs. Casey Musgrave's double shot there. Well, self-checkouters unite. What am I talking about? Well, we heading to Australia for this. You ever been to Australia? Well, if not, you're about to go. If you've listened to this show for any amount of time, you have been to Australia, because a lot of craziness comes from Australia, it seems like. Maybe it's the heat. Anyway, a shopper claims he was told off by an employee at the self-serve checkout for scanning his groceries in the wrong order. The Melbourne man slammed the power-tripping worker who was unhappy that the heavy items weren't being put through the register first. Customer claims no signs were displayed at his Coles store to explain the correct order of groceries and items should be scanned, how they should be scanned. The complaint sparked outrage from others on Facebook, with many saying they wish more staffed checkouts were available. Self-checkout at Kohl's just got told off by a staff member that I was scanning my items in the wrong order, the man wrote on Facebook. There's no sign saying what order, and the only reason she could give me was so I wasn't stealing. How does the order help with that? He said, feel free to have normal checkouts with people if you have a certain order. In the comments, he explained why he was pulled up on the air and said, wait, apparently, I was meant to do my soda water cans first. Look, I get it. But I don't do that. Like, it's whatever I grab first from my basket, or if I've got my hands full of stuff, it's whatever I sit down, that's what gets scanned and put in the bag first. So this has been the perfect opportunity for him to be, I'm sorry, I was never trained, right? Hey, do it yourself. And then you go to do it yourself. You're not doing it right. Well, okay, you do it. No, this is you doing it yourself. This is the you do it yourself. All right, where are the places where someone else does it? We don't have any. Okay. Well, then you come over here and do this. No, I can't do that. This is do-it-yourself. My self-checkout experiences have always been great. Even if the machine messes up, if there's an issue and it says, please seek help from attendant or something, most of the time you don't even have to flag them down. They already coming your way because they know that thing's been messing up all day. Or all you have to do is just look up and look at them, and they know there's a problem there. People don't just randomly look up from checking out groceries and look to see what I'm up to, unless there's a problem or they're sneaky. Either way, I need to go over there. But what would you have done? Let me know, 389country.com. You're doing that wrong. You're doing it wrong. Your cans go first, madam. The Eagles on the Morning Buzz. Are you surprised? You should not be. It's Christmas time. Of course you got to have that from the Eagles. And now you have to have this. You know, yesterday we had like 2 really feel-good stories. We have none today. Well, I guess the girl living through the toothbrush fiasco. But a Japanese tourist has died after taking a leap from one of the world's highest bungee jumps at China's Macau Tower. The unidentified daredevil, described only as a 56-year-old man traveling on a Japanese passport, began experiencing shortness of breath after completing the 764-foot jump around 4:30 local time on Sunday. He stopped breathing altogether and had no heartbeat by the time first responders arrived to transport him to the hospital. Doctors were unable to revive the patient, and he was pronounced dead a short time later. The thrill seeker did not suffer any superficial injuries to his body during the jump. Sky Park by A.J. Hackett, which operates the bungee jump and other tourist attractions at the tower, requires customers to tell staff if they suffer from any of a host of medical conditions, including heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, epilepsy, pregnancy, or previous surgeries. The attraction, which first opened to the public in 2006, is the second highest commercial bungee jump in the world, surpassed only by China's Glass Bridge bungee, measuring 853 feet. Now look, gosh, you paid $360 for this. You could go up there with no kind of pre-existing medical conditions, no heart issues, nothing. But you jump off that, the old heart might say, I can't take this. So just because it appears safe and like the rope's not going to break or anything like that, well, that doesn't mean that all is well. So just remember that when you start to be Mr. Dale Dever out there. Being a Dale Dever will get you killed. Crazy. Willie tried to get a head start there a minute ago. That's going to do it for the old Travinator. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Morning Buzz here on 389 Country. Don't forget to keep a check on 389country.com throughout the day for news you can use. Always new, always free. And keep us on. We are the perfect soundtrack to your day. Josh David coming up after me here. And he's hidden his playlist from me today. I can't tell you. Anyway, I'll be back with you bright and early tomorrow morning. Same bat time, same bat channel. We celebrate our midweek version of the Morning Buzz. Until then, remember, wrestling's real. Politicians are fake. Enjoy your Tuesday, everybody. Stay warm tonight. It might snow. See you tomorrow.